Alright guys, so this is the exhaust that I got. It's the MBRP catback exhaust, and it's the race version. So you can see this is the part code, I guess. I'm going to take the rest of the exhaust out and show you how it looks before I put it onto the car. Well, one cool thing about this is it comes with carbon fiber tips, and these are 4.5 inches, which is pretty cool. And I got the stainless steel exhaust because I live in Canada, it snows here. An aluminum one would have been destroyed like within a year. Okay, so this is just an overview of the parts again, just laid out. Okay, so this is what the exhaust looks like. This is an H pipe, which I kind of wanted because it's supposed to give a deeper tone. And it comes in 3 different parts. So you get the res or mid pipe, and then you get the basically connecting parts to the exhaust, and this is the muffler you get. It's a lot smaller than the OEM, and they give you stainless steel clamps to join these parts. And yeah, so now the first step is to take off the old exhaust. Okay, I'm also starting at about 550, so we'll see how long the exhaust install actually takes. So now I'm just basically setting up the ramps to get the car up in the air a little bit. So what I usually do is I just push the ramps onto the back wheels and make sure they're aligned, so when the car is backing up, it's just backing up straight. So you can see me adjusting it a little bit, and then once I have them in place, I'm just gonna drive the car up. Okay, so now that I have the car in the air, I'm gonna let the exhaust cool a little bit. I was recording the decibel level at like 2 feet away for the stock exhaust, and then I'm gonna compare it to after I change the exhaust. Okay, so once you have the car in the air, I just use my ramps. Once it's in the air, it gives you quite a bit of space to work on the car underneath. As you can see, I should be able to get all the way down, all the way to the back, and get the whole exhaust out. And if I can't, I'm gonna use some jacks and jack up the car up here so that the whole thing is lifted. Okay, so for the install, according to manual, it says you need a 15mm and a 13mm socket. So I have these ones here, but these are probably too short. So we're gonna have to use some longer ones. So like a 13 and a 15 if I have one right here. So this is the tool list. We're gonna use a 13mm, 15mm socket. We don't need an 8mm Allen key. I don't know what that was for. We also don't need the saw because we're doing a full catback exhaust, so it's just gonna be clipping in and clipping out stuff. And not the 916 socket, but I think we need a 932 socket. Okay, so once you're under the car, the first thing you're gonna want to do is come here and take these 2 screws off so you can remove this underbelly cover, and that way you can take out those clamps holding the OEM exhaust in place. Okay, so this is still in the way, so I'm just gonna take out these extra bolts here and remove the whole pan so it's easier for the install, because I don't have a lot of room to work on as is. Also, you need a 932 socket to get these little screws out. There's 5 screws in the back and 2 in the front, but the ones in the back are shorter, so keep them separate when you put them back. And there's 1 big bolt in the middle and 2 pull tabs, so we're gonna have to get those out too. Okay, so that bolt in the middle is a 10mm, and the pull tabs you just basically pull out. I use this little pin thing and it comes right out. Once you get all of those out, the pan is just gonna fall, and you take it out, and you have full access to those hangers that you can take out. Okay, so now that we have the pan off, we can basically take these bolts off. Okay, so you're not gonna want to fully remove these bolts just yet. Loosen them so that when we take out the resonator way down there, that this has some wiggle room so the resonator can come out, and then we'll come back and remove these from these hooks, and there should be some hooks over here. Okay, so now we're at the resonator of the Mustang, and these are the 4 bolts we're gonna loosen for the clamps and move this resonator. I do not have a lot of space right now, but that's just because I don't want to lift the front of the car. So if I could do it this way, I'm just gonna try to do it this way. And these are the 15 mm bolts or nuts, and then the ones that were back there are the 13. So once you have these loosened, that they're like moving kind of freely. Okay, I gotta loosen this one a little bit more. But these tabs here, you want to use a flathead screwdriver and just lift them out at the front so you can push the exhaust out, and then same with the other side. I don't know if you guys can see. And that's it. Okay, so now that we got the front loose, now you're gonna remove these bolts completely and take that. Oh, it's so hard to see. So now you're gonna take these bolts out completely like that, and make sure you take the hanger out of its place. Okay, so to get these hangers out, you're gonna wanna push up and out, and you can see it came out a little, and then just take it out of its place like that, and then do the same thing on this side. Okay, here you might be able to see better. So you push up and out, and then to the side, and they'll pop right out. Okay, so now everything is loose. Basically, I'm gonna go under and pull it out. Just have someone hold the exhaust so it doesn't fall on you. So now this is just me basically struggling to kind of get the exhaust out. I was pulling the clamps the wrong way, which was basically preventing it from unhooking, and I wasted so much time doing this. So in the next clip, I'm basically going to show you which way to pull them. That way you don't have to fully open the clamps like me and waste a bunch of time. Okay, so when you guys are taking this out, it took me almost an hour just to get this out. The clamps that are on this, you have to pull towards the resonator. If you start putting it towards the front of the car, it won't come out. So, and I have to pretty much open one of the clamps fully. Okay, so once you have your resonator off, this is what it's gonna look like. You're gonna reuse the clamps that you used that were on here before. Make sure the bolts are towards the passenger side, and you just slip them on if they want to go on, and you do the same with the other one. Alright, so when you're hooking these up, basically the point of this being on the passenger side is so that this bolt thingy slips on, and then you just push the tab down so it sticks, kind of. Alright, so after I got the H-pipe down, I just used this like jack stand to hold the H-pipe in place. And while I was doing that, I just installed the first bend and lightly clamped the clamps and tightened the clamps in place. And I installed the OEM hangers. So now I'm just gonna mount these in place and get these tightened. Same with this one, mounted it in place, gotten it tightened. And now I just have the last part that goes into this hanger. Alright, so after this bend, I installed the last part of the exhaust, which is just the muffler, or lack thereof. And what you want to do is you want to put this hanger into its location first, and then put the pipe in where it goes. That's why you want to leave everything loose and not hook up the bolts everywhere, so that you can adjust it so it fits. I've lightly tightened everything. I'm going to install these bolts for the hangers right now, and then I'm going to install the tips and make sure they're centered. Okay, so the main reason to leave these loose is, you can see after I finish installing this is touching the plastic here, but I can still move it. So when I tighten it, I'm going to lift this up and then tighten so it doesn't touch the plastic anymore. Okay, so as I tightened it, it created that little gap. That's basically exactly what I needed. I don't know how much more I can adjust it, but it's something. So I lost a couple of clips from when I made the video, but basically I finished up the exhaust install, tightened everything up, and everything was centered. The next clip is just going to be the first cold start with the new exhaust. So now I'm just doing a comp for what the exhaust decibels were on startup and rev at the stock exhaust and what it is with the new exhaust. So basically the stock idle is around 63 decibels at 2 feet away, and the startup is around 80 decibels. And with the stock rev up to 5,000 RPM with the remote rev, it went up to 95 decibels. And now the next clips are just going to show the same thing from 2 feet away with the new exhaust. Okay, so the new exhaust was a lot louder. Not too much, but still louder, and it had a deeper tone in it. The startup was around 95 decibels, and then at peak it went up to 109, which is about 10-12 decibels higher than the stock exhaust, but the tone definitely changed with the H pipe, and I think overall it's a pretty good upgrade. Not super expensive, and definitely worth it.